Why we're surrounded by...
Hey, I'm Damien Baxter on the Creators Unlocked podcast with LiveLink. Today I'm joined by Rebecca Bradley, a TikToker from London who entertains and educates hundreds of thousands of her followers on TikTok on weightlifting and physique. Rebecca,
yes,
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. How was the journey here today?
It was good. It was okay. Very rainy, but it was fine.
You're coming from London, aren't you?
Yeah, Ascot.
Ascot?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Southwest. Yeah, southwest.
Southwest, okay.
Southwest. I had to get my geography there.
Oh, very good. Well, I'm just going to jump straight into the questioning, if that's okay. So I want to cast your mind back to your early years. And I want you to really think about what that context looked like. So when did you start weightlifting, or when did you start going down this journey of physique? And when did it become an obsession?
So I started when I was actually really young. I was around 13 when I started going to the gym, and there's two reasons why I started. Mainly because in Brazil, it was like huge, because I grew up there. It was huge to have a good body. Like you're embedded with that idea at a young age when you're a girl that the perfect physique is hourglass, big glutes, being able to wear a bikini and just being powerful at the beach. And that's what I saw all the time. So I just wanted to be that. I just wanted to have that physique. And another one was mainly because my dad started going to the gym when he was younger, and he would talk about it so passionately. And I just wanted to bond with him as well about it. And I went, and I absolutely loved it. But
so you're from Brazil originally?
I am from Brazil, yeah.
Did not know that about you, actually.
I am from Brazil.
Okay.
Well, I grew up there. I was actually born in London. And then I moved there when I was 4. My mum is Brazilian. My dad is actually half Irish, half Greek. It's a mixture and a half. But yeah, so I grew up out there. And yeah, that was the ideal body that you wanted as a young girl. And that's what I wanted to achieve. So I joined the gym really young. Over there, they have like PTs that help you and everything. It's not unsafe. But over here, you can't even go to the gym when you're younger. But yeah, so when I was out there, I started going to the gym with my friends. We were trying to achieve the same goal. So it was really interesting to see that like community already build just from a couple of friends at the gym, just trying to achieve the same goal. And it was great. And I loved it. And it started being a routine where I just went to school, went to my like English classes after, because my mum always wanted me to keep my English intact, and then going to the gym with my friends. And it was like that moment was just mine and my friends, and I was trying to achieve something that no one else was telling me to do. It was a choice, and it was great.
So when you think about that upbringing in Brazil, I mean, straight away, I guess there's, having never been to Brazil, I guess there's two classes in Brazil, and that's sort of upper class and lower class. I get the impression there's not too much of a middle class going on. Am I right in saying that? Getting a bit political?
There is a bit of a middle class. You have people that can afford stuff and just lives a comfortable life, and then you have the upper, and then you have the lower classes. So
you talk about this sort of idea of an hourglass body, so to speak, in Brazil. Where did that come from? Like, why did you feel the need to have to get that body? Is that because at such a young age you were influenced by everyone around you, and you felt that you need to do that too, or was it for vanity reasons? Was it for health reasons? Where did it come from?
It came from mainly like when you're young, and in Brazil you're like the music there, and the people. It all influences that idea, because in the music all the music talks about this perfect woman with big glutes, and all you see, I grew up in a small beach town where people would go to the beach after school, and all you would see would these amazing women, like hourglass figures, and that's what everyone wanted.
Wow.
And it wasn't that idea of, oh, I want to be skinny and I don't want to, like, you didn't want to be fat because you would get made fun of, but a girl that was skinny, that didn't have a big bum or didn't have an hourglass figure at such a young age, and I mean, like, it started at like around 10, 11. Yeah, it was a big thing. So if you didn't have that, you weren't good enough. So everyone wanted to, you know, start going to the gym or trying their best to achieve that. And most women in Brazil naturally have that figure anyway. But I suffered with compulsive eating disorder, so I was a little bit chunkier than everyone else.
Did you get teased and bullied for that then?
Not quite, because it was a very personal thing, and I would not be. I wasn't fat and I wasn't skinny. I was in the middle, so it was a matter, because I would compulsively eat stuff and then unhealthily try and stop me from getting weight. Yeah. So I was always in that middle, but that's not healthy, and that doesn't make your physique nice. So it was mostly because, you know, you going to the gym at that point, it was mostly because I wanted to have control of trying to get that figure, even though there was a ton of stuff happening at the back of it that I wasn't really taking into consideration, but I was at least doing one thing to achieve that. That was helping. And then I realized that it was helping, and then I started to change the other variables in the picture, and that meaning my food and my relationship with food, and the gym actually helped me get over it, and I just didn't want to stop because it just made me feel good.
Would you say you're obsessed with fitness and weightlifting?
I was, yeah. I think everyone that gets into it and then gets so, like, they love it and they keep going and they find this obsession, but then eventually that obsession actually doesn't become an obsession anymore. It becomes just a part of who you are. People that are obsessed with it sometimes don't enjoy other aspects of life, and I think that's wrong. But if it's a part of your routine and it's a part of who you are, then that's fine. And that's what it became for me, because I still enjoyed other things, because I didn't, you know, I will go on holiday and I won't try really hard to find a gym because I'm obsessed with it.
You won't?
I won't do that. If I'm on holiday, I will maybe try to go to the gym, but if I don't go to the gym, it won't affect me that much mentally.
So you could happily just take 2 weeks off, go and enjoy ice creams and walking down the beach, go on holiday, whatever. I will miss going to the gym, yeah,
but I won't go out of my way to go to a gym, or I won't like beat myself up like harshly if I'm not on plan, because I'll plan that ahead. So but if someone invites me tomorrow to go and like visit them somewhere that has food, and you know, I won't be able to go to the gym, I'll just rearrange it. It won't be a big deal. But like if someone's super obsessed with it, they will not cope really well with having to make that change at all. But it was an obsession at one point.
So that was you when you were in Brazil?
Yeah, exactly. It was an obsession. I would want to go to the gym. And even when I came to England, when I was around 14, I couldn't go to the gym.
Why not?
Because you can't go to a gym
because you're too young.
Too young, yeah. So I had 2 years where I couldn't do what I wanted to do, and it affected me so badly.
In what way? Mentally or physically?
Mentally and physically, because I went back into compulsive eating because I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I couldn't, you know, it wasn't the same. Like I couldn't go swimming in the beach. It was such a like change. From culturally, it was such a big change. I used to go to a mixed school, then I went to a girls' school, and that was like all the girls were skinny, and then I was like, oh my god, I've been trying to be muscly all this time, have a hourglass figure, and all these girls just want to be like tiny and skinny, and they're all tiny and skinny. So I just then compulsive eat it again, and then I gained loads of weight. And then when I was 16, I started working at a gym.
Okay.
As a receptionist, and I got back into it. And it was like life-changing at that point. Just the act of me being able to go to the gym again just changed it. The compulsive eating stopped again. I just had a place where I could control something, because when you're compulsive, when you're like eating and you're compulsive about it, basically you just feel out of control, but you can't stop yourself.
So do you feel like the gym has, without sounding too cliche, has literally saved your life?
No, yeah, absolutely. It saved me from like my mental health, and it has helped me stop something that would have been quite life damaging. And
where would you be if the gym wasn't around?
I have no idea.
What would you have done?
I think I would probably try and find something else that brought that control to me again. I used to swim, and I stopped because just life got too busy, and swimming was very, very intense. And when I moved to England as well, I didn't have, it wasn't natural for me to go swimming. I used to swim in the beach and then go to swimming lessons and then swim in the ocean. And I just stopped because I didn't have time, and also because I started going to the gym and I preferred it. But I would probably do that, or I would just not do anything and I would be miserable, I guess.
I hope you don't mind me saying, but you talked about how in Brazil you sort of aspired to have this hourglass figure, and looking at you now, you've got an hourglass figure, I would say. When you came over to the UK, it was actually quite different. People didn't want that hourglass figure. No. They wanted to be really skinny. And then you talked about your love for swimming, and you may have swam at school, I don't know. Did you feel confident in yourself and in your body when you came over to the UK with that sort of stereotypical hourglass figure that you'd been accustomed to in Brazil?
Absolutely not. I wasn't comfortable at all. And it's crazy, because then after a while, I realized that people that used to probably comment, like you would hear comments, like girls would make comments. Girls can be very horrible.
Guys can too.
And but like being in that environment, you see how horrible some people can be when it's just girls in one place or just guys in one place. And it was quite intense because, these girls, it was different. I wasn't English and I was different, and it was just like they had to make comments about it. And then now these same girls that used to make comments about it now talk to me for advice.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I can imagine, just looking at my own journey, obviously that's not what we're here to talk about, but when I was at school, I was skinny. People used to call me a beanpole or a lamppost. They used to call me sparrow legs, all these things.
That's horrible.
And at that point, well, it's just, when you're at school, it's just guys being guys, and you always saw these people as your friends. But when I look back, it's actually quite mean things to say.
It's horrible.
And as a result, as soon as I was old enough to go to school, go to the gym, like you, I wanted to take back that control, and I started to bulk up a little bit. Although I'm still very thin, I still, if you compare it back to how I was at school, I guess my question is, do you feel like for you that was quite similar in terms of your journey? You almost felt like the name calling, the looks that you were getting at school forced you to take back control and ultimately be the person you want to be now? No,
yeah, absolutely. I think having that experience and not wanting to feel that way again was a huge part of me getting back into having control and going to the gym, and actually, getting where I want to be is like a push to like prove that you could do it, not like to yourself mainly, but also to prove a point that, you can make changes. People change, people adapt, people evolve. So
it is crazy because, when I was being brought up and people would call us names, the mentality for us and what we were always told, you possibly heard the phrase, was sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. And back then, that was almost like saying, you shouldn't let names hurt you. But actually now, I think we're a lot more open about the fact that actually names do hurt, and why should we have to put up with that? That's just as painful as sticks and stones.
Exactly.
So I do think that mentality has changed.
No, absolutely. And it should be. You shouldn't be judged or anything about from where you are, because you're not gonna, you could be like that forever. And what's the problem in it? There's no problem in being skinny. There's no problem in not having an hourglass. There's no problem in being super bulked up. Everyone is just who they are, and they should be accepted for it. And it shouldn't be wrong to be like that. So you being skinny, even though, you know, you went and bulked up and you try to, you know, get into a shape that it was comfortable for you, you shouldn't even have been judged at the point that you were skinny. It shouldn't be, because it's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with being skinny. It's still beautiful, and there's nothing, no one can change that. So I think it's sad that people do that. And it's sad that, like, you always want to have something that you are not. I feel like
I was just going to say that.
You always want to. So I have curly hair, right? And I normally straighten my hair a lot because it just annoys me that I have curly hair. But like a lot of people are like, oh my God, I want curly hair. But they all have straight hair. But you always want what you don't have. And it's, you know, you were skinny, you wanted to be bigger. But people did try and make you feel bad for being skinny. People tried to make me feel bad because I had a bit more mass. I had bigger legs. But there's nothing wrong with it because now I want to have big legs. So something that I was kind of debating there when I moved to the UK, where people were like skinny and tiny legs and thigh gaps. Oh my days, thigh gaps. And I didn't have it.
Oh, that's a thing, wasn't it?
It was a thing.
I remember
yeah.
that. I'd forgotten all about
and
it.
And it was just crazy to me to think now all I want is huge quads. And I was debating that not being okay.
When is that enough though? When I hear this phrase, gains all the time. Like we say, it's, you know, when I'm out with the guys or, you know, in the gym. When do you ever get to a point where you say, right, this is where I want to be? Or is it never enough?
It will never be enough. When you start going to the gym, most people actually start suffering from body dysmorphia. Yeah. And it's very, very common. And I think it's more common than anything when it comes to the gym, that most people that go do have it. And it's just the fact that sometimes I look back at my phone and I look at pictures of me and when I was a little bit more shredded and I look back to those pictures and I was not happy then.
No.
But now that I'm a bit more bulky, or I've had like this gap where, you know, I'm not doing too much cutting. I'm just bulking up a little bit to cut again. And then I look back at those pictures and I'm like, I wish I was like that right now.
I'm the same. I'm exactly the same.
But
that's
then
what it was like.
It will always be like that. Is and obviously with men as well, they do get big and they do get muscly and they shred and they're like crazy lean, but it's not enough and they're not big enough. And probably the top people in bodybuilding feel this way because they're huge, but they're probably someone better, but they probably could be bigger. The quads could be more shredded. There's always more. And that is never enough. And you kind of always see yourself. I don't know if you do this, but sometimes I feel, I'm still that, like, you know, that chubby girl that, you know.
Yeah, I'm still the skinny one in the group.
But I look at pictures and then I compare because I have to do that. I have to compare from where I started to where I am now. And I look at it and I'm like, what on earth was I thinking? But then I'll think that again eventually because it just is how it is. But what people have to do is kind of remember that it's a journey and you're doing everything you can to be better. Yeah. And that in any sense, not just, you know, at the gym, if you're waking up every morning and you're trying to be a better version of yourself, that's fine. Just being you and just putting you out there is being the better you. No matter if you're skinny, if you're fat, if you go to the gym, if you're struggling, no matter what, if you're doing that, that's enough. And no one should tell any different. And you shouldn't feel that, even though you will eventually feel that way. And it's okay to feel that way. But you should remember, because if people are living with this, they should remember that, like, if I'm doing everything I can, it's fine. I'm doing enough.
It's really, really nice words, actually, really wise words. It is important, though, because whilst it's nice to have a role model, you know, a lot of bodybuilders, I'm going to really stereotype here, look up to people like Arnold Schwarzenegger and people like that, and they think that's who I want to be. And actually, the reality is they may never, ever get to that stage. And I think in one respect, it's nice to have those goals and have those role models.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
the same thing, I don't think you should ever compare yourself to someone else.
No, absolutely not.
And as you say, beauty is very much in different ways, shapes and forms. So
I feel like beauty should be more judged the inner beauty of who you are as a person.
So is that what physique's about? Is it about vanity and beauty, or is it about the obsession or the drive to manipulate your body and have control over your body in ways that you want. I don't know how I'm trying to phrase this question.
I think bodybuilding is an art. It's, you don't, this is a speculation that happens quite a lot, that what is bodybuilding? What is it? Is it a sport? Is it an art? And I think it's both. So you're trying to build the best possible physique that your genetics can build.
For what reason?
For just the reason of being able to do it.
Okay, so it is a control thing.
Yeah,
it's telling yourself that you can.
But it's also the fact that it's an art. You're trying to see what your body will look in a prime condition, like your muscles and like what you actually look like underneath everything, and just like it's incredible. I find it fascinating, and that's why I love it so much. But it is an art. It's a person going out there and working so hard to build their physique, their unique physique, to like crazy,
almost like the best version of yourself, or what you deem to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, because some people don't like it. Some people don't like the muscly people, and there's categories. So for example, there's with women, there's bikini, there's wellness, there's figure, there's open, and then there's in bodybuilding for men, there's men's physique, there's classic physique, there's open, and they're all different physiques because people have different physiques, and that should be showcased in different ways. And if you're competing, you can't just have one category because bodies are different. So for example, wellness is what I want to do, and it's all about a more developed lower body. But bikini, the girls are smaller and petite. Do you see what I mean?
I do, yeah, absolutely.
And then classic is all about the shape and the, it's aesthetic, very aesthetic category for men. And then open is just mass monsters.
Are you competing?
Eventually, yes, hopefully.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll keep an eye out for you.
No, yeah, great.
And what category will you be going into?
Wellness, yeah.
Wellness.
Yeah, which is actually dominated by Brazilian women, which is amazing. And I love it. Yeah, it's great.
So when people ask, do you say you're English or Brazilian, or both?
So if I'm in England, I always say that I'm Brazilian.
I do.
But yeah, and in Brazil, people that know me just know I'm English. And when I go there, I'm quite pale, and people are like, "You're not here. Have you been here?" And like they all consider me English, and that is because actually I'm a third culture kid.
Okay.
So basically, I'm English in Brazil, and I'm Brazilian in England. So I'm never actually a part of a country, essentially, ever.
It's kind of cool though.
Which it's great, but you would say you never belong, but no, I literally belong everywhere. I see it the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's great.
Glass half full.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. Talking of glass half full, just to spin this round, what's been the hardest moment of your life so far? We can talk personally, we can talk work related. It's up to you. Whatever you want to share. I think
the move from Brazil to here was very, very difficult.
Remind me, how old was it? 14, you said?
14, yeah.
That's a tough time to have any sort of change in your
And it was
routine.
my decision.
Was it?
I wanted to move, yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to experience where I was actually born. So I wanted to come and see how it was to live in the place that I was actually from.
You see it on like movies and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, it literally felt like a movie because like the school life or the friendships and the connections that you have with people that I had with people in Brazil and still have is totally different from here. So it was a struggle to move and have to change, and also the gym.
Yeah.
I think about the fact that when I was in Brazil, I had the gym, and then when I came here, I didn't.
Yeah.
And then I had to just, change my whole lifestyle there and then, and I did not cope with it very well. But eventually that changed, and eventually I just got back into what I was supposed to do because it was innate. I just wanted to do it, so I went and did it when I could.
Yeah.
But it was difficult, but at the same time, it toughened me up a little bit. I have two perspectives. It opens my eyes to see a life in Brazil and how living there was, and like how living here is so different, and how people are, and the comparison is it's just good to have that knowledge.
Hey, it's Mel at LiveLink here. We're making it possible for creators and experts to teach anything online. It is the easiest way to monetize your audience. We'll even sort out your video editing and email marketing for you, leaving you to do what you do best, creating. LiveLink.vip, where creators and experts teach.
Do you know, from an education perspective, I think it's so important to experience those different cultures.
No, absolutely.
You know, people always say, I'm going on a gap year, I'm going traveling, or whatever it is that they say. And most people just do that to have fun or whatever it might be. Yeah. But I think it genuinely does open your eyes to different cultures.
Absolutely.
And for you to get that at such an early age must have been really sort of broadened your mind and allowed you to see all these different opportunities and different ways of living. So if you look at it that way, I think it's actually a great thing.
No, it is good. And I think most people should be open to like that experience once at least. Just go somewhere that you don't think you would like and just like experience.
Well, I'm just going to ask you one more question before I jump over to the business side of things, because I want to talk to you a little bit about TikTok as well. Now, there's often a stereotype with bodybuilding and physique around the usage of steroids or muscle-enhancing drugs. Two-part question. Have you ever taken steroids, or do you take steroids?
No, I don't. I am a natural
That's good.
athlete.
Okay, so let me ask you another question then. Have you ever had negative comments online from people who accuse you of taking steroids or any muscle enhancing drugs? And how do you deal with those negative comments on a daily, weekly, monthly basis?
I have had people turn around to me and comment that I'm not natural, but it's not actually, I don't consider it to be negative. Because I'm trying to, like, that's a compliment for me. If someone says, nah, she's just taking steroids, I'm like, no, I actually don't take it, but I look like I take it, so I'm doing something right.
Yeah, of
so
course.
I take it as a compliment, and people don't realize that, but that's what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to achieve, you know, big muscles that normally people can't do, or I'm just trying to get to that point that like people actually think, is she on gear? Like, is she natural? That's where I want to be. So,
it's crazy because I've got people, having worked or done quite a lot of work in gyms and fitness myself, people often say to me, is he on steroids? When we look at these like strongman competitions and stuff, I say, probably, you know, he probably has been on steroids, or he probably is on steroids at some point in his life. And they say, well, why don't they get banned? I was like, well, it's kind of accepted in these sort of sports. Like the judges and people that rule these bodies, they know that this is going on. And that's the only answer I can give. I don't actually know what the rules are behind this in physique and things. Is it an accepted thing?
I think you have tested shows. So if you go and you want to be a natural, you know, bodybuilder, or you want to do this naturally, you have natural competitions. But then the thing is, people want to see mass monsters. People want to see freaks.
Yeah.
And that cannot be, with the standards today, that can't be achieved without steroids at all.
Would you rather watch Usain Bolt running 100 meters naturally, or Usain Bolt running 100 meters on drugs?
Imagine.
You know,
it's crazy because I'm sure at some point, you know, people had to stop and think, wait, entertainment wise, people probably turned around and said, I don't want to watch a natural person, I want the freaks. There must have been that change from, you know, testing it. And then probably people have like just turned around and said, I don't want to watch this. I'm not paying this much money. I want to see the mass monsters. I want to see the freaks. But the thing is that people don't understand is that taking steroids isn't just, you don't just take steroids and then you're a mass monster. No. You have to work, because you could take it and be exactly the same as you are right now. It takes dedication, it takes work, it's not only taking the steroids, it's taking all the supplements that you have to take, is eating an incredible amount of food that only like, that actually is good for you, that it will make you grow. Eating a lot of protein isn't easy at all. Getting your protein isn't easy at all. And I think people just think, oh yeah, I'll like, these people just take steroids, go to the gym a little bit, and then, you know, eat food, and that's it. Like, that's their physique. That's why they look like this. No, it takes a mental hit on you. It's you have to put so much work, because you're actually, you know, these people that are taking it, they have to think, I'm taking this, so I have to make it worth it. So they work so hard to do it. It's not a magic pill, because if it was, everyone would do it. Because why wouldn't everyone do it? if it was just taking something and then you would have a great physique.
Yeah.
It just takes so much work. It probably takes more. And it's just sad that people still think that saying this stuff and saying, oh, he's only on steroids is, you know, it's sad that people still do that, because it's not just, they're not just taking steroids. They're putting their life into the sport. They're like, you know, tiring themselves day in, day out at the gym. They're eating like amounts of food that probably no one is okay with eating, like feeling bloated. And then shredding is like eating just a certain amount of food and not actually, you know, being able to enjoy the things, like the nice things, and having to be on a deficit is tiring. Doing cardio is not only the steroids, it's the work that they put into it.
Comes back to what you were saying before, wasn't it, about this sort of balance between happiness and and doing this sort of thing. So no, thank you for the honest answer there.
No, that's right.
Super appreciated. So over to the business side of things then. So when I started training personally, when I say training, I mean in the gym, social media wasn't really a thing. So we're talking probably when I was about 14, 15 as well. You know, I used to play sports, but properly training, it was that sort of age, maybe 16. When did you realize that there was a world or a community of people out there who found what you had to offer valuable? And at what point did you think, I'm going to go over to social media and see if this works?
I actually didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't. I was terrified of the thought of posting a TikTok. All my days, I couldn't. And it took me some time to be able to share what I do on TikTok. And because I thought people just, you know, were going to judge me, and I was scared of that for some reason. And I was, you know, terrified that putting myself out there and who I am and what I love to do was just going to bring heartbreak to me.
Good engagement though.
Yeah. But I just, you know, it was people that pushed me to do it. People were like, you're doing this, you're good at it, just go and do it. Just post a video. Like, because they wanted to see what I was doing. So it was more not me realizing that there was a community. I saw the community, but I was terrified of starting. It was just other people telling me to just, you know, just stop being a baby and just go and do it. Like, no one cares. And literally no one cares. And if they are if they're putting negative stuff, it's because they don't have anything better to do. So you should feel bad for them.
Well, they just don't have a clue.
No, or they don't have a clue, but it's just sad that people stop themselves from doing it, including I almost stopped myself from doing it because I was terrified of what other people were going to think, when actually no one cares. You do you, and the people that you're affecting is the positive out of it.
When did that change, by the way? Just, I know we're talking business now, but you said that, you know, you cared about what people thought. And I think that was probably at some point when you came back over to the UK.
Yeah.
At what point did you go, do you know what, I don't care, I'm going to do this because I can see an opportunity?
I think I started posting, and then I was like, I like doing this. And then I was like, okay, maybe people do judge me, and, you know, my anxiety probably got a little bit like rough then, but I just kept doing it because I enjoyed doing it. And I feel like whenever you enjoy doing something, only good can come from it. So if you enjoy doing it for yourself and you're not doing it for anything other than you enjoy doing it and it brings you happiness, then you should do it.
Yeah, good on you.
Because if you're not doing that, you wouldn't probably be successful at it. And
well, you clearly are successful. You've got, you know, I think it's close to 250,000 followers on TikTok. You've had 17 million views on posts and things like that. 50,000 on Instagram. People love what you're doing. And
I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful.
So what do you do with that is my next question. You've got, let's say, combined, just under 500,000 followers. What do you do with that? How do you put that into a business plan?
I think I treat it as something I love doing. I don't really treat it as a business. I treat it as, I love doing this. I'm putting content out there that people enjoy and people are learning from it. Therefore, that is the business. Is doing that for them and putting stuff out there, because it's kind of just me watching myself grow as well. Because on TikTok, I'm posting my posing routines, I'm posting what I eat, I'm posting my routine is making myself also accountable for what I'm doing. And just sharing that with people is is great and people being able to appreciate it, that's already the business.
Yeah.
Is being able to, you know, share. And obviously I get brand deals from it and, you know,
From TikTok.
From TikTok and from Instagram. And that is probably the most business I make. And that's enough because I'm just putting it out there for myself.
So how much money do you make on TikTok and Instagram?
I make enough. I make a good amount. It buys all my supplements, so it's okay.
okay.
It keeps me going in bodybuilding, which is not a very cheap sport, but yeah.
It funds your lifestyle.
No, exactly. It's comfortable.
Good. Yeah, no, that sounds fantastic. So what advice would you give then to fitness creators or influencers out there who are just starting out and they're looking to grow their accounts?
The advice I can give someone is mainly do or post things you would want to see. Mm-hmm. You can't start posting things that make you feel happy and that you would love to see. And if you like the video, post it because someone will like it. But then eventually, if you get what I think people don't understand is that, yeah, post what you want and post what you like doing, and that's fine. But if one of your videos goes viral or some content gets more attention, pay attention to your audience. Do what they want to see, because eventually it's not just a portfolio. Like it's not just you posting what you want, it's also posting what they want to see, because it's for them at the end of the day as well. So I can just say to you that I'm going to post my workouts or my food or just my posing videos. I would love to just post posing videos just for me to see how I develop, but people don't want to just see that. Then so for example, a video that went viral of mine was me and my boyfriend, and for some time all I posted was me, and then it didn't do well because the one that went viral
after that
I wanted to be like, okay, I was posting about me, but no one wanted to see it because, well, the one that went viral was me and my boyfriend. So the audience that I attracted was people that probably like couple videos. So instead of, I did post what I wanted to post and I did post myself, but I also implemented more videos with my boyfriend. Yeah. And that actually made it grow in both ways. People that like what me and my boyfriend were doing and people that liked seeing just me. Is a balance between what you love doing and what you want to put out there, and actually researching what people want to see and what your audience is, and be aware of, you know, if you want to work with brands, be aware of what they want to see. You know, be yourself and put your uniqueness into, you know, things that they like to see, because that's what's going to attract them. But never lose yourself in it. I think you can't force it too much. You still have to be yourself, and it has to be organic, or people won't like it, because at the moment people don't like what's fake. People don't like someone that is just posting pictures of their face with filter on. Actually, pictures with filters and videos with filters actually don't do that well. People want to see raw, real people, and the more real you can be, the more people will actually engage with you.
So truly authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
Original content.
But actually bearing in mind also the audience that you have and what they want to see, and not just posting what you think is nice or what you feel comfortable in. Maybe go the other way. Be uncomfortable posting something. Like, I hated posting my physique updates, and I haven't actually done one yet.
As in standing in front of the camera, showing your body, and this is how much I've improved.
Yeah, so it's hard for some people to post something like that. So I'm putting out there what I used to look like and what I look like now. And that's big. You're sharing that part of like your journey with people. But that is so real that people will enjoy it. And I haven't even done it yet, but I will. I promise I will. Soon. It's coming soon. But yeah, so it's funny, like do things that you're uncomfortable doing. But even if it like, but if it's going to like bring any value to what you're doing, do it, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable.
So with that in mind then, how important is money to creators? So if we think very specifically about the fact that you chose fitness and physique or lifting, weightlifting as a channel for enjoyment, but also as monetization through brand deals. If that wasn't available to you, physique and fitness, would you still be pursuing this sort of career path or this channel of monetization as a content creator in a different niche?
I don't think so.
You wouldn't?
No, because I wouldn't be passionate about it.
No.
What I'm passionate about is the gym and bodybuilding, and if I can only make it work because I love it. The money is a bonus.
So it's secondary.
Making a business out of it is a bonus because I'm just doing what I enjoy doing. I'm doing what I would do even if it didn't get me money, because I just enjoy doing it.
So if you were posting every day on TikTok of your physique and your weightlifting and it just got no traction and no brand deals, nothing, no followers, you'd stop doing it but keep training, or you'd keep doing it?
I would keep doing it, probably maybe like changing what I was posting. Maybe what I was posting wasn't working, but at the same time, I feel like even if social media didn't exist, I would still go to the gym.
Good on you.
Because it's what I love doing, and I can't see myself not going to the gym. It's like an artist without his art.
Yeah.
So you can't just. What are they going to do? They can't do anything. So it's just taking a part of me. So
big part of your life then.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's a part of who I am. The gym, even though that sounds really weird, but it is a part of who I am. I can't see my lifestyle or like my life without the gym. It kind of like is a struggle. And I think that is a struggle for many people, but I think it's for not only with the gym, for anything that you love doing.
What did you do in COVID?
Oh my God.
I just had an epiphany
it
here.
was so sad, but it was so good at the same time. I used to go to the park near my house and just do pull-ups. And just
during
use,
COVID?
you know those you
I
know
hope you
in the park.
sanitized the bar.
No, yes, I did. Don't worry. But you know the like little gym machines that parks normally have just to keep people fit.
You did those?
We did those.
Wow, I bet that was
And
a bit of a shock.
long walks. And, you know, I had weights already, like very, very shitty weights, but I would just do banded work. I just bought bands on Amazon and just did like body weight workouts. I did not stop.
Did you notice like a change in your body in that period then?
Yeah.
And how was that for you
I
mentally?
lost so much muscle. So much muscle. And yeah, no, absolutely. When I went back into the gym, I felt flat. I felt kind of like, do I actually belong here? Because when I went to the gym, I wanted to be muscly. I wanted to look like I go to the gym, and I didn't. Like I did, because there's no such thing as looking like you go to the gym. But for me, I was a certain way, and then suddenly I was very flat, and I didn't have my muscle, and I was like, oh my God.
Well, that actually brings me on to my last question. There used to be this sort of fixation growing up when I was a kid around size zero. It was all about size zero, Paris Hilton, you know. That was the thing. If you weren't size zero, then you're not cool. Now it's the opposite. And I don't know if that's just because of the people I associate myself with, or whether that's the world changing. But people don't want size zero anymore. People want gains and gains and gains. And they want this hourglass that you speak of. Guys and girls. How do you feel like that's changed?
I feel like there's people that really want that, but then I feel like there's more of an acceptance when it comes to people's bodies. I feel like people want to have an hourglass, and people that want to go to the gym want to look like they go to the gym, and they want to, you know, maybe compete, or they want to just look big, or they want gains, and everyone is like, you know, big shoulders, big arms. Like, I want big arms, I want big shoulders. It's not about just lower body. It's not about only like the hourglass. I want to, you know, improve my physique in that way. But I think there's more of an acceptance about, you know, every single body is beautiful, and no matter what, if you like going to the gym but you don't like.
Do you feel like social media has influenced that though, and the influences we see on social media? No,
absolutely. And the influence of, you know, brands also taking on people that like aren't just shredded. And you know, you have people that are smaller and petite, and you have people that are bigger sizes, and then you have people that have been going to the gym for years. You start somewhere, and no matter what, those people are also probably love the gym. And like people, it's not like you can't just take a picture of someone that looks like they goes to the gym. You have to take a picture of a beginner, a person that like goes to the gym but like their body doesn't change. There's conditions that like don't help the body, like weight and stuff. Like I have friends that have PCOS and like they can't lose weight. So but they still love going to the gym, and they are gym rats no matter what. Just because they don't look like the stereotypical, you know, gains and like everything, they still go to the gym and they're still a gym rat, and it doesn't matter what body type they have.
It has changed a lot, hasn't it? Because when I first started going to the gym, people were very intimidated by this, you know, mythical place known as the gym. But now it's all about it being inclusive, and it's for everyone.
Absolutely.
You know, we see it on huge sporting events around the world at the moment as well, about that sport is for everyone and all this sort of stuff. And it's the same with the gym. So I do think, as you said, that social media has massively changed the way in which we perceive things like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it's good. And at the same time, I hope it keeps on changing because it should be more accepted. And it should, you know, you should, because I get comments sometimes, you know, when I'm bulking that like, there was a trend called muscle mummy. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't.
No, but it's literally just girls that go to gym saying that they're like with a sound that says that they're a muscle mummy, and so many videos of small girls, big girls, and people that, you know, they're not shredded, they don't like, they're not that defined, and the comments saying you can't call yourself that.
Really?
But, yeah.
Even today?
Yeah.
It's a horrible
and
place,
it's just,
social media.
No, I know.
Sometimes.
But at the same time, it's great because then there's people arguing with these people saying, who are you to say that?
Yeah.
So there's still horrible things, and there will be still horrible things happening on social media, and people talking about people in like horrible ways, just like when we were like younger. But at the same time, I think there's like such a huge community of people that just want to do good. And I hope that just increases, to be honest. And people keep fighting for like people that are, you know, just trying to do what they like. Just because you're not shredded doesn't mean you can't call yourself a gym rat. Just because you're, you know, skinny, you're a gym rat. It doesn't matter.
Do you portray this sort of thought process to your users and to your followers and community on social media?
No, I try my best to. Yeah, absolutely. And it's the fact that I'm posting things. I think a lot of girls and even guys comment like, keep going, and you being able to post this makes me want to be able to post it. Like, just me being comfortable posting a video of me not that shredded but still posing makes them feel good, and that just makes like everything worth it. Everything I do is worth it because people are like, I'm influencing people into doing the same that I'm doing and feeling comfortable doing so, and just putting themselves out there, because many people just don't do it because they don't feel comfortable, or they feel like they're not going to be accepted in social media. And I think it's not only just to do with gym, it's to do with anything. Like a makeup artist just doesn't want, you know, a person that's starting to do makeup probably doesn't want to put makeup out because all the pictures that they see is people like with crazy skills, but they should start doing it. Just post it. Just put your art out there. Put whatever you're doing out there. It doesn't matter. And just me being able to do it without, you know, having to be perfect all the time. It just makes me feel good to be able to like help people.
Well, Rebecca, I will say this. Love this word or hate it. You are an influencer.
Oh my God, no.
You are an influencer. You
That's
are
scary.
an inspiration to a lot of people online through the content that you're putting out there. You obviously bring a lot of happiness and joy and reassurance to some people online. So do keep doing what you're doing. We think you're great. We're going to continue to follow your process. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
And you're welcome anytime.
Oh, great.
All right.
Thank you.
No worries.